Go down. All right. So we've got the content that we can talk about that we can't record out of the way.
Oh my god.
So it's the Real Talk podcast, the realest podcast on the internet at the moment, and that there ever will be. We are back after a small hiatus due to life. I am joined by my boy, my brother, my family.
It's your boy Ash, also known as ENRAGEDNANASHI. Well, how you doing, folks?
Oh, right. So we had some stumbling blocks last week. Life has been life for both of us, I think, but nothing too severe. Just, unfortunately we have to be adults and have responsibilities, and we can't dedicate our whole entire life to this just yet. But how's
Mhm.
your week been, bro?
Week's been week's been good. This is my final week before I have to go back to work,
Mm,
and half good, half bad about it. Like I've been
bro,
living my life, being able to work out when I want, go for walks, just plan out my days. It's been nice. It's been a good break. Been spending loads of time with the family. Um, I'm a little bit excited to have a bit more routine back in, but I
mm.
now have a taste of the life I want, and I need to get there. I need to get there.
Yeah, the you've you're halfway through the 75 hard or whatever. Is that what's called? 75 hard?
Yeah, more than halfway now.
Yeah, it'll be like day 40.
Gee, I think I'm on almost day 50, day
Oh
48 right
shit.
now. Went to the gym, did my little walkie walk as well, my little outdoor exercise. So yeah, check this off. Got the rest of my water to drink right here. I'm
Yeah,
checking out.
we're both off the moment, obviously for different reasons. But I like the one thing, because I've noticed the same thing about you, and I'm due back at work in 2 weeks. I don't know if I'm going to go back yet. I'm still trying to figure some stuff out. But the one thing that I really need to get a handle on, and I think you probably do too, is the fucking sleeping schedule, bro. Like
Oh man,
me,
being up at 4 a.m., bro,
I know,
every day.
I know. It's dumb. It's dumb, and my body. I don't know about yours, but my body's almost attuned to it now as well.
Mm,
So like, I start peaking in my energy levels, and my functionality like seems to peak at like midnight. And then
yeah.
I'm like, bro, do you know what? I'm gonna go to bed tonight at like between midnight and 1 a.m. Try and get some normality back to my sleeping schedule, but I just can't. I'm just like, is
Uh,
is
for, for me, it's the opposite. I still get tired at like 1, but I end up like because a lot of my friends are like in America, so I end up just powering through it. And then by like 2 o'clock, I'm like, man, I'm not even that tired. But
mm-hmm.
um, but no, I try to take like supplements for it during the day, so it kind of still balances me out. Like I take ashwagandha, which is good for like your
Mm.
stress levels, um, and just giving you, just trying to cut out that cortisol spikes, which is an indication of stress. And I also take magnesium, which helps with like sort of sleep
Mm.
cycles. And then I always take vitamin D in the morning to keep that sleep cycle around like the morning time, and then I get fatigued at um during the night, but I still fight through it because I end up playing like games and shit.
That's it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm the same. Like that's probably been the most unhealthy thing about the whole Twitch thing is this the fact that, because it's very similar to you, like the people I play COD with are all either on like PST or EST.
Hmm.
So like I'll get a message at like 8 p.m. between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. going, can you get on? And obviously you do. And then
Obviously I can.
no, no, like
Obviously I can get on.
um, and then yeah, then I end up playing till like 2, 3 a.m. and yeah, bro, it's something I've really got to get a handle on. But speaking about the Twitch space, and now it's all said and done, you have been your job as PR for TMGC and for our platforms, you have been working overtime.
No,
And I
yes.
think enough of the dust. I think it's more or less over now, and the dust has settled. So I think we can kind of talk about it a lot more frankly now. Everything's been said and done. And I kind of wanted to have a kind of a almost cathartic because it has been stressful. I'm not gonna lie and say I haven't enjoyed aspects of it because everyone enjoys being right, and um but I wanted to because we alluded to it the last time we recorded. I was hoping we could have a bit more of a frank and open conversation about everything, and I think people want that as well. Because people have asked me, I spent a good solid week just replying to people and giving people like an honest, answer. But obviously, you are the only one really in the entire team that has stayed completely silent almost in the public setting. Um, so I was kind of wanting your take and your opinion on it all.
Mm.
And the thing is, I haven't told you I was going to ask you this question because I wanted to kind of see and kind of get your raw take. Sorry, I'm just getting comfy.
Yeah, I mean, well, for one thing, I'm still here. So like, you know, I don't necessarily disagree with look, if I'm gonna be completely honest,
Hmm.
there are things on both sides. There's one person that's completely wrong.
Yeah.
But there that doesn't mean that there isn't faults from maybe our side as well.
Hmm.
I do think, for one, I was one of the people that really egged you on to do it. I know you were a bit apprehensive, but you were kind of sitting on the fence about it, and I was like the devil on your shoulder, being like, "Hey, listen, just do it. Just do it, bro. It's gonna
Yeah.
be fun. Like people aren't gonna take it too serious because I know if I was an outside, like if I was outside of this, right?
Mm.
If I was didn't have anything to do with it, but I was still close with you, and you put me on a list, I'd probably be, the worst reaction I can fathom from myself is I'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" And then I just get off. I'm like, "This guy's just talking shit." Like whatever. Um, but to start a whole thing over something that could be talked about. I kind of liken it to when, I'm not calling you a child, but when a child or even a person does something wrong, right?
Mm.
Or something that hurts you. May not necessarily be wrong, but something that hurts you because everybody nowadays talks about their fucking feelings and shit as well. And okay, but even though it's not necessarily wrong, it's about the way I feel, etc., etc. If a child does something, you don't immediately abandon the child or say, I'm done with you, right? Like they do something wrong for the first time. They make a mistake. You don't immediately dismiss them. And this can even extend to friends and family, right? Like I'm sure I've pissed off friends, I've pissed off family, people have pissed off me, um, unintentionally. And it's a talking thing. It's a respect thing because at the end of the day, you did something to me. I need to talk to you about it because you might not know you've wronged me. And you're like, you're sitting in the clouds thinking, okay, that was fun. So you have to have a conversation first. If there is repeated disrespect at that
Mm.
point, then it's something that can be a problem. But there wasn't ever that initial convo, and it's again, people have different spectrums of where they sit or things that upset them and whatnot. So again, that's understandable that you are upset. I can't say that you're a bad person or not an intellectual person being upset about something that upsets you, but where you take it is the issue, and that's like it got really far. It extended out into the community, which you know as much as people are fucking nosy on Twitch, I'm sure a lot of people didn't want to be involved in it. Don't even
Oh, there was a lot of people.
come to Twitch for drama. Like myself, I came to Twitch just to have fun with friends, joke around, meet new people, etc. Never thought there'd be like Twitch drama. Well, never thought it's a lie, but like this early and at this level,
But
and yeah,
we know it wasn't about the list.
no, no, it was a, it was kind of a
It felt like a
that
hit
that
job.
that was the
It was an
that
excuse.
was yeah, that was the excuse. That was the okay, now we've got something to now we've got a reason to dislike this person. We didn't initially have a reason before. Okay, maybe they're a bit crude, maybe we don't like the way they speak, but you can't you can't tell a community of people, hey, don't talk to this person. I've got no real reason why except I don't like the way he speaks about things.
I felt like it was a character assassination. I felt like that's what it was. It was an attempt to destroy and discredit and uh yeah. Yeah, I think character assassination is probably the way I would phrase it. They were
Hey,
looking for an excuse. We have receipts to show they were looking for information on which to, and they've been put out there as well, the screenshots, so they you can see them for yourselves that
mm,
that individual was looking for information to which to discredit the respect that the respect I believe I have in our community.
mm.
Um, but the what do you think to the way it was handled on our side?
I would have done things completely differently, but that's because I'm a completely different type of person.
Yeah,
I'm I'm not I'm not who I was before.
the unapologetic poster.
That was good. I wouldn't have done it that way, but I really like that. I
Your
thought that
reaction to that was amazing when I showed you that.
I thought that was funny. I thought that was witty. I think see I don't have that type of I wish I was a bit more bothered about things because then I would be that type of petty. I used to be that type of petty. I used to be very timid as a kid.
Yeah.
And then uni like really brought it out of me and I used to like be very vocal. And then I realized like being the loudest in the room isn't always that freaking great and always have an opinion on something. So then I like for me it was that where I grew up and I was like, I don't have to give my energy and attention to everything. So for me, I probably would have addressed it had people come to me.
No one ever did though, did they? That's the problem.
No, I think people in the community
So,
end up
oh
coming to
no,
me and
that's
saying,
correct. But in terms
no,
of like the key players,
no,
because I DM'd every key player in this scenario, and I got a reply from only the females in our community. Every man I DM, no one replied to me, which says a lot. It's
yeah,
crazy.
but to be honest, like, listen, I won't say that, um, I won't say that because it is one of the reasons, kind of. I won't say that I didn't come to Twitch to make friends. Um, because there's people that you meet along the way, same mentality, same vibes as you. But at the end of the day, I've only known you guys for like what 8 months
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
grand scheme of things, right? Like
yeah. It's no
if
time.
you or Zaps ended up not being my friends anymore, it would hurt.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be honest, like right now at this moment, would I get over it
Oh yeah,
in a couple of days, if not like a couple of weeks?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And that's not to say that I'm not close because for you and Zaps, like if you guys call me, I'll answer. Like Zaps called me at 4 a.m. once, completely shit faced. And I was just like, well, I'm not gonna answer that call because I don't need to.
that clip's
But
still on my TikTok.
yeah, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you guys are still that level of friends to me that if
Mm.
there's an issue right now, I'll help you out in any way I can.
Yeah.
It's not to discredit how much I like you and everything like that. And plus, yeah, I've spoken to my girlfriend about this as well. I think I'm a bit of a if you don't if I don't see them, they don't exist type of thing.
I'm exactly the same.
Like even I've got family members that I don't really text, and then when they text me, I'm like, oh yeah, we're family, like, and we have all these great moments. But then out of sight, out of mind. That's a real thing for me. So
Yeah, I'm very good at like kind of disassociating with those like if like I think disassociation is the right word anyway,
yeah,
but if a relationship yeah, if a relationship breaks down, the initial pain will be there, but I get over it very quickly. Um because I understand every relationship is temporary, more or less. Like,
Mhm.
there's very few relationships that last beyond, school and then into adult life and work life and stuff like that. Like, yeah.
Shout
Um,
out trauma.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's kind of the only thing I think in this whole scenario that kind of sucked was, and it kind of shows sometimes how insular the Twitch community is because you build relationships very quickly.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, the only thing that, and shout out to Zaps because in this entire thing, in this entire scenario, Zaps is probably the person that I feel for the most. Um,
No, I don't anymore.
no,
I do not anymore.
no, but some of those posts, I mean, the boy popped out, but some of those posts were posted in an emotional way, I think, to how he felt
He's
because
hurt.
yeah, because he did nothing apart from be associated with me.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, some of the people we knew from the very start kind of picked a side, and I don't know if we can speak on this, and maybe you can maybe tell me to shut the fuck up, but the true victims in all this are the women in our community. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And the only thing that I've really struggled to kind of get my mind around, and it's been bugging me, I'll be honest, is is how women in our community can side with the guy that obviously I was at war with when you see so many women being victimized, and it kind of blows my mind, and it's something that has been nagging at me, and I've kind of wanted to speak about, but I don't know if it's my right as a man to kind of bring it to the public for. Obviously, this is our platform, and it's real talk, so we have these discussions, and um, we're open to answering any questions. But I don't see how so many women have continued to support him, knowing what I've put out there, and obviously facilitated because these women have come to me to post the posts. But there's been yeah, that's one thing I still can't get my head around.
Well, there's multiple reasons for that. People live within it's to do with an empathy thing, first of all. Like people live within their own realities and their own moral standings, right? So this some people will choose to side with it. I mean, you see it all the time, like, right? When guys do horrific things to women, um, and their guy friends are like, nah, he would never do that. You're lying. Like you see it all the time.
Mm,
And you back your friends because you're so acquainted with them and maybe they haven't done anything to you like that, like other people have experienced, that you immediately justify it as a lie. I think as well, again, I think the way that we responded came across in a very, because I mean, we weren't the first ones to attack, right? We got attacked,
100%.
but we treated it more like it was a rap beef rather than a business dispute. And
Because
I
we
think,
didn't because we didn't know though.
what do you
Because
mean?
when it all first came out, obviously we didn't know that this man was manipulating, in some cases sexually harassing and sexually manipulating these women. We didn't. So for those for a very brief timeline, I did the tier list. The next day, he put out a post basically saying I was sexualizing people in our community. Essentially, that's what he said. Um, without their consent, which isn't the case. And then I put out the whole unapologetic thing. So it wasn't until 3 to 4 days after all that came out that women started contacting me, telling me how this guy was harassing them, sexually manipulating them, and all that business. So our initial reaction was just based off his reaction to the tier list and the fact that he DM'd a girl asking for information on me.
Yeah,
So,
and I think
so
that's where it was more business intuitive, and then we started attacking them. And I think that's where I would have done stuff differently, because then we had the information, but we didn't put it out in a way where it's absolutely like undebunkable, if
hmm,
that's a word. Um, and people can just lie about it. And we didn't have anything to go at it afterwards. So it looks like we're just attacking this person. We're creating this agenda because there was an agenda created about us,
yeah, I'd agree.
dragging more people into it, um, which created more of a rift. Like we did have people that obviously supported what we said and what has generally happened, but it created even more so of a rift because the other side can just be like, well, they're lying, and we can't do it. And there's nothing you can do about it
Uh,
because that's the thing. People will just say we want proof. You give them proof, they're like, this isn't enough proof, and then it's just a never-ending thing.
Bro, that's what's crazy. So that's kind of what I wanted to get into. So I put out, I think, 25 screenshots of evidence, like hard evidence, like that there is evidence where this guy sends sends several messages to one woman who is completely innocent. Like all the women are innocent, but she is like one of the sweetest women I know. And he's basically telling her to get on web chat so he can get her naked. And she replies to none of the messages. Um, and and then he puts out a statement that says all these screenshots are photoshopped and fabricated. Like the dumbest post I have ever. He deleted the post because I think he realized how stupid he looked. But bro, when he said because one of his statements was that they have a professional photoshopper.
Mm. Yeah, we have someone that can do Photoshop. I think he deleted the post because he spoke to a couple of people as well, and I think
Oh,
I think that person just wants it to be over with. Um,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, because the people who keeps are continuing to support us, and the people that I'm in close contact with in terms of them vocalizing the support are pretty well respected in the community. Um, and yeah, I think not. I don't mean this in an egotistical sense, but I think he realized he fucked up. Um, I think this is a blatant display of what the danger of the ego of a man is. Um, because power destroys, and the ego destroys. And even though people speak about me having an ego, and I do, but there's a there's a really oh shit, I can't remember it now. There's a really good quote, but it basically the definition of the quote or the synopsis of the quote, because it's quite long, is that one of the things as a man we have to do is rid the body of our ego, and humble ourselves and understand that no matter our opinion of ourselves and how highly we value ourselves, we have to constantly humble ourselves. So it's kind of that kind of like when you celebrate those victories, understand it and know that it was achieved and you are great, but at the same time you are still, there is always room for improvement and always room for growth and always room for learning. And it's the same when you have lows, is to understand that you are still great and you can still rise again. Is having an ego and managing an ego is probably the hardest thing to do, I think, for men specifically, because society is still very male led. Not that that is correct or right, but um, we have so much responsibility as men, um, and I think this has displayed to me more than anything. And the biggest thing I've learned is to humble myself more, because even in this instance, the some of the things I did and the way I acted was out of hurt and having my pride and ego
Mm.
humbled. And I think I handled everything correctly. I think there's things I did wrong, but I think the posts that I put out were very on brand. I think the stream that I did when I spoke about it all, I think I handled that very well. I got carried away at some points, and you and Brit both like kind of roped me back in. Um, because there was one or two points where I got personal when I spoke about the collab stream and how much of it must have hurt him. Um, but I said that out of hurt, and it wasn't right for me to say that. But it's still fuck him till it's spelled backwards. But yeah, the biggest learning curve for me, I think, is to remain humble no matter what role I play in the community, in our team, in any of that. And I'm very fortunate to have the people around me that I do, that kind of call me on my bullshit.
Mm.
Um, because I think when you look at the two sides, to kind of bring an end to this, unless you've got anything else to say, if you look at the two sides in terms of their circles, I surround myself with people that I know respect me and value me, but at the same time have no fear of saying, "Deli, you're dropping the bag right now. You're fumbling the bag." Whereas I think on that side, that doesn't really exist from the inside knowledge I have. Um, Everyone on my team and in my circle aren't afraid to tell me that I'm fucking up, because they know me as a character and know that I'll listen and learn. Um, every decision I've made throughout this Switch beef or whatever it is, I have spoken to the people I respect most and taken their opinions on board. There's been a lot of things that I've not put out that I wanted to, because you and Brit especially have gone no.
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's been a ride. It's been a ride.
Yeah. I'm happy it's over.
Me too.
I think like the topic that and the information that was put out there is important. I think that will always matter. But I think the argument like itself
That was
in
stupid.
like 6 months, no one will remember. Like
No.
no one's gonna. So it's like no point. It never should have got that far. Of course, again, when it comes to the specific topic that did come up, we do need to be vocal about it. We do need to protect people in the community, but it just never needed to go that far. And we shouldn't rope people in that come to see us for whatever reason they see us. I think drama is the not the intention and not the reason why people come to see us. So we should try to keep more people out of that, unless the community is brought in, and then we do need to do what we need to do. I think in the future, especially more about yourself, you need to look at yourself more like a business, uh,
Mm.
and not an individual anymore, because as much as you do want to, I think you can be real and have your say and not compromise yourself.
Mm.
But I think as soon as you get defensive or personal, you're undermining, and it looks like you're more worried about yourself than like the community, which
Yeah.
you're trying to protect. So I think in the future it should be like that. Like when companies, I mean, a company that I worked for, they were accused of doing a bunch of stuff, right? And the statement was always, we have never, it was never like punching back. It was always just, we've never done that. We'll show you the records. We're leaving it at that. We're not going to discuss this again. We're completely public about everything we do. Da 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 da. Full stop. Um, and I think then you are, you can do both. I think when it starts getting personal is when, people are like, is this person a flight risk? I mean, FaZe Banks, right? He's very, very outspoken, right? Like he's probably one of the most outspoken people I've seen on a just on a influential social media platform. But he does well, he does well because he's still not super personal about things, and he's always taken accountability when he's definitely gotten personal on
No.
Twitter a bunch of times, and there's always been backlash from doing that, but he's definitely learned how to balance
Yeah.
that out. And then you've got people like, you got other people, I'm not gonna name drop other bigger, but you have other people, right, that they're still doing super well, but they're just flight risks. Like they got to where they are because they're so outspoken, but now they're such flight risks. Like it's,
Yeah.
no one would really take a chance with them
Yeah.
unless start their own stuff and
I
shit.
would agree. Yeah, that's something else, and you more than anyone kind of spoke to me about that, and I couldn't agree more. And that's kind of where I'd keep a couple things. The thing I'm learning and I'm loving about all of this is because of where I'm from. Um, Respect and pride is such a an important thing,
Mm-hmm.
and the way I was raised and taught to respond has always been directly and aggressively. And um, I think unlearning those behaviors, that is what Twitch is like kind of teaching me. And shout out to so many people, but especially Squeezy Flump. I had some great conversations with her because she's a mental health advocate and she works in the mental health field. um, she's also a woman, and obviously a lot of this ended up being female issues surrounding female security. Um, and the way she spoke to me was very, very frankly, and she kind of, and Winnie as well. I've already spoke about Winnie. Um, but they asked me a lot of difficult questions that made me assess the way I was acting. And yeah, so I would agree, and I think as we grow, and we have seen pretty incredible growth over the last couple months.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to remember, and you said to me that like when I speak, I'm not just speaking for myself now. I'm speaking for the team, and I'm speaking for the community in which I'm very, very thankful for the fact I'm respected within. Before we move on, the one thing that I want to say that I think is beautiful that came out of all this is the the female community that has been formed. So for those that don't know that are listening to this, and you can contact Brit or your girl Brit69 on Discord. But her and I was on a phone call with all the women involved. There was about 10 or 12 of us, I think, in this Discord call. I kind of got all the women that were involved together so we could have like an open discussion. And I was there for a while, but then I left so then the girls could just talk. And they have actually, and I think Brit's like kind of headed it, but they formed a females only Discord where women can kind of feel completely safe and can kind of have open conversations without male influence or fear of, you know, people being in there that maybe shouldn't or could be dangerous. So I think the beautiful thing that's come out of this is kind of the female strength and the female community that has kind of banded together to support each other. So big shout out to all the women in our community, because we have got some fucking amazing women in our community that are real pillars, and have taught me a lot, because like I said, I'm not faultless at all, at all. Like there's been plenty of things that I've done wrong, but I like to think that I have addressed them all directly and spoken to the individuals concerned directly,
Mm.
apologized for some of the things that I've said or done. Obviously nothing wild, but just, you know, um, I think as much as I laugh and joke, and even we do, um, people's feelings are still valid. Like how you feel and how you communicate is valid. If you feel offended, it's okay. And I think as adults, and in this instance as men, just do it directly, because there is no one that can say that they've ever DM'd me and I've got defensive or acted in an emotional or reactive way. Like I like to think that I'm someone who actually enjoys being told that you disagree with me, because then I can learn.
Mm.
Like that's kind of I think as you grow up as an adult, that's what you've got to learn to do, is be able to remove your pride, ego, or whatever you want to call it, and actually have an open dialogue and go, I hear what you're saying. This is what I have to say to that, and kind of learn from each other. Because I'll happily admit that I'm wrong. Happily.
Mm.
Despite what people's, opinions of me may be. Um me and you both are people that love debate, sometimes to an extreme.
Yeah,
But yeah, I love it. I love being disagreed with, because I am more than happy to learn. I enjoy that aspect, We kind of had a debate just before we started recording. Um,
we did.
but we're not going to talk about that. But no, we did it last week. That like we were both talking about like it was one of our favorite episodes, I think, for both of us, when we did like the tier the not the tier list, fucking tier lists, Jesus Christ. The top 10. I am actually working on a couple tier lists that I want to do on stream. And I would say it's trolling a little bit, but I think again that's very on brand for me, but obviously not to the degree that
Of the
I did
last
at the last one. And I'm glad that you publicly announced as well that you were the fucking devil on my shoulder with that
Oh
fucking.
yeah, I said for me it was like, look, listen, we've been doing it was more of a themed thing, right?
It
Like
was 100%.
we've been doing like quizzes and
Rice
stuff
purity test and stuff, yeah.
in 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 the streams, right? So we've been posting quiz links, people have been doing it, just chatting, just posting their results, and they're all to do with like sexuality and stuff like that. So I said, like, who's it gonna hurt if you do like a little tier list? Like,
Mm.
we're not insulting anybody, we're not getting anybody's personal history in here. We're basing it off of like just opinion, right? If you're a public figure, people are gonna have opinions about you, whether you like it or not. I'm not saying it's like always right, but people are gonna have opinions of you, and you just gotta, especially if you do want to be a public figure, as much as it may be right or wrong, you have to take things with a pinch of salt, right? Because people will have opinions. We're not supposed to judge. Only the Lord can judge, and so on and so forth. But we all make mistakes, right? No one's perfect. So yeah, it was just a little bit of banter, but you learn very quickly. Again, even though you feel like you're surrounded by like-minded individuals, that it's not always taken that way.
No.
That's fine. Are we going to make that mistake again? No. Did we intend to hurt anybody? No. Did we intend to? There's things that were even said there, like I don't even want to go over again. But yeah, our intention was purely just to have a laugh with the community, the community, and just move on from there. But you can't do anything these days without
No.
someone. But to be fair, that's why I'm not mad that people have an opinion about what happened, what
Yeah.
has happened. I'm not like you're wrong for that. Um, I think the way people handle their things is what kind of makes them wrong. But
I would like to say, like, this whole experience has kind of fueled my passion even more for what we do, and brought me closer to the people and made me value them more. You, Brit, Zaps, Denny, the whole community, it's made me value you guys more
Misfit,
because Misfit, yeah, Misfit. Obviously Misfit's currently going to be moving to Europe
thank you for
for
your service.
military, just exactly. I echo that. So I understand that Misfit's not been able to be around as much, but it's made me value them even more because it has solidified and kind of shown me that I surround myself with the right people, purely because you guys don't get offended. Like, sensitivity is such a big thing, and the content I love is quote unquote controversial, even though I don't think, like, I got called a fake edgy streamer, and I wouldn't say I am. I wouldn't say I'm
He's a
edgy.
real edgy streamer.
But it really shows you can't do wrong for doing right, and you can't do right for doing wrong. Like, and it's impassioned me to produce more content that makes people question their own morality more, and their own values. Because it's so few and far between. And if I'm honest, the people I've lost now roughly 150 followers across all platforms, which isn't a great deal of people in the grand scheme of things. But all I've lost is people that I'm not their cup of tea. Um uh but all it's made me want to do is produce more of that content. I will
Yeah.
say that.
I mean,
Like,
people are gonna hate or love it anyway, so you might as well love what you do and let people hate.
yeah, no, I fucking love it, bro. Like, that's when I say it's like fueled me.
Mm,
I haven't enjoyed the hurt that it's caused in the community at all, but what I have enjoyed is knowing I am doing what I love.
mm,
Like, when I look at the people I admire and the people I watch and whose content I consume, it's the content that I'm producing, which is exactly what I set out to do.
yeah.
Um, and I've loved it. But I mean, let's be honest, we've had along this journey, at some points we've had fun as well during this past couple of weeks.
I'm still having fun. That's
No,
like,
no, no, but I mean, in the sense of the controversy that's been caused, there's been aspects of it that we've looked at, we've gone, fuck, bro, like, we're really like shaking shit up at the moment.
mm,
Like, um and it's been a whole journey, and I kind of thought this is the last time that we'll probably speak about it. This is the last time it'll be brought up.
yeah,
But yeah, it's been a whole experience, and in 6 months people won't talk about it anymore. But I think in years to come, when we're at the TMGC headquarters, and we're having meetings and discussions, we'll be having drinks, and we'll be like, hey, yo, remember that time? And I think all it is it's just it's just a obstacle we had to come across for the next level of success.
yeah,
And I think we did a lot of good. I want to say that I think we did a whole lot of good throughout all this.
yeah,
We connected a lot of people. Like I said, the women in the community came together and really supported each other. Um, and also, and this is only my opinion, I think we got rid of a very, very bad guy in the community. And that's just my opinion. But sexual predators, and that's only my opinion. Deli Meat 18, that's my opinion, that we got rid of a sexual predator in the community. And it's just, for my own ego, it's another body that I've buried. Um,
You should be escaping your ego, right?
look, I am not perfect, but you can quote that. You can join tofu in the grave. Um,
I think that's a good place to end that.
Clip it, post it on Twitter. Deli Meat 18, only my opinion.
I'm so glad Zaps wasn't on this episode. Oh my god.
So we're talking about Zaps, and we haven't confirmed anything. So this is just something that if it goes out on Wednesday and we actually go ahead with it, it's something that we talked about. But we are talking about doing a special episode of Real Talk at some point soon. And yeah, I miss Zaps. I want to say I do miss I miss the boy on this, and this is why I want to kind of do the Real Talk special that we record live. Um, whether it happens this coming weekend or we do it in the future, we are discussing doing it this Saturday because we can't do Let's Talk about it because Brits at Pride. But I do miss the boy because I've put out a lot of content about what's happened, but Zaps has really been the unspoken assassin in all of this. He has really, he's really been cooking. And I have enjoyed seeing his responses. So yeah, hopefully we're gonna have him on an episode very soon and get his opinions and his assessment of a lot of topics because he is very opinionated and he can fucking waffle. Uh, he is someone who can fucking talk for England, so or for America in this case. But yeah, shout out to the boy.
Shout out Zaps.
Um, oh yeah, and Savior Hope. Brit actually posted a picture of herself wearing that the other day, and
Yeah,
he released. He's not released it, but he put out a whole post on Twitter about his new executive line that is dropping soon. So,
we'll see if he took any of the feedback on.
by the way, I don't know why that's just reminded me, but did you hear the "Sexy Red" song that
No,
got? You've not listened to it?
no,
The over the BBL Drizzy beat.
no. I know Drake's released something.
Drake, oh bro, it is the biggest pie. Like, oh, I was listening to a reaction video to it today, but it is the biggest heap of shit I have ever
Wait,
heard.
Drake's version?
I don't know. Would we be able to pull it up? Would we be able to play it, or would it
No,
get
no,
copyrighted?
no. I'll listen to it. I'll check it out.
No, so it's a Sexy Red song with the BBL Drizzy beat, and Drake's got a verse on it.
Right, yeah.
And it is hot garbage. It is
I heard Drake's part was fire. I heard Drake won the verse.
it's it, bro. I wish we could play it, um, because I would love to hear your like live reaction to it. But it is painful to listen to. Um, I think trolling wise, it's great that Drake rapped on that beat, but I will, because I still listen to Family Matters. I think Family Matters is a great song in and of itself, and I think some of the shots he takes is are great. And I would actually say that's a point to Drake, Family Matters, but that is not it. That is not it. I mean, I love Sexy Red as an individual, as a like a I don't know what you'd call her, but I never want to listen to a Sexy Red song again after that.
Fairs.
Um,
Fairs. I don't think I've ever really listened to Sexy Red, so
I've only ever listened to what's gone viral on like TikTok and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't listen to a lot of female rappers anyway. I can't actually name one that I listen to actively, like, outside of Nicki, and even then, like early Nicki when she used to rap, and same with Cardi. If Cardi B dropped an album, tomorrow, would I listen to it? Probably not. But it's not music that's made for us.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
Nicki, I probably would because Nicki probably is the GOAT when it comes to female rappers. Not that I'd put her in the fucking top 10 like with the fucking tier list that we spoke about in the last episode. That shit was crazy. That was fucking wild. I was thinking actually that we should do maybe one a month or one. I don't know how we do it, but in terms of like similar music, like maybe like bands. I don't. Could we do bands? You listen to like
I listen to rock music.
yeah. I think we could probably do rock music. I don't know if we could do pop because I don't listen to mod old school pop. We could do maybe like the Prince, Michael Jackson era. Like,
Maybe.
um, by the way, that props to you with the wheel because that is a fucking feat of genius. That is probably my favorite thing you've done.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. I wish more people would, but I got to build it up. But I hope more people get involved, and then I'll basically just have a stream dedicated. Because if, oh my God, like even if 20, 30 people got involved in that's going to take a whole stream just to do that. So I would just do elimination rounds by then. I would just dedicate a stream to it.
Could you not do it on Twitter first? Like if you did like the wheel on stream and then people have a week to submit their songs and then the following week you react to every song.
Maybe. I need to post on Twitter more.
Yeah, no. I would say that's the thing. I don't think, and some people are aware, but is kind of Twitter is the place I think you have to be to get like systemic growth. It's a lot of time and a lot of dedication, and it is something that I need to kind of even get better at because of personal issues this past couple of weeks have been tough for me to do. But Twitter really is that place that you have to kind of to grow on Twitch, you have to be on Twitter, which is kind of weird. But
Mm.
I think Twitter now is the social media app. I think Instagram's kind of dead. I wouldn't even know how to use Facebook anymore.
Oh my God, Facebook.
Bro, yeah. I can't remember the last time I used Facebook. I wouldn't even know my login for it. But Twitter is the social media app now, I think. Which is bizarre because people shit on Twitter every fucking day on how trash it is, but then continue to use it.
Yeah, fucking Twitter's fucking amazing, bro.
Bro,
It is.
my For You page is fucking wild. That like, I kind of like what Elon's done. I know everyone kind of fucking shit on Elon and said he was going to destroy it, but Twitter is like, it's like the purge. There are no rules on what you can post on Twitter. I have literally gone through my For You page and seen some of the worst possible shit you can see, and I'm like, how the fuck did this make it to my For You page?
My For You page is pretty tame, to be honest.
Nah, mine is fucked, and I don't actually know why. I don't be looking at it, but bro, yeah, I'm not gonna say what I saw, but yeah, it was very illegal. Um, but yeah, we'll not talk about that. Oh shit, right. Um, so one of the things that I'm looking to do is I haven't done an event in ages. I'm not actually talking to you about this. I was actually talking to Z about it. But hopefully next month I'll send you the image actually so you can have a look at it. I'm looking to do my first charity event. So that's the wrong group chat. I'll just send it to you directly. I've got to edit it because I'm going to be hosting it by myself now. but something I because I haven't done an event in so long because of everything that's been going on in my personal life.
Mhm.
I kind of want to do a couple of events over the next couple of months, all for charity, because obviously we did like the blood baths, um, and they were for cash prizes. But what I'm wanting to do, and the reason I want to bring it up on this, and I'll probably talk about it tomorrow on stream, is because I want to get more people involved. Because what I want to do is maybe do a couple months worth of charity events. So like I want to do a bloodbath charity event because everyone has been asking me, not everyone, but a lot of people have been asking me to do another bloodbath and raise it for a certain charity. And then I really want to do a men's mental health charity event and discuss issues surrounding men's mental health because it's something that I'm very passionate about and have spoken heavily about. And I see more and more, and I don't know if you would agree, but I see more and more talk about men's mental health, but very little seems to change um, in terms of like social awareness and kind of what's the word? Maybe sensibility when it comes to men's mental health. We're still I think as a society, we're still very keen to tell men to just man up and kind of get on with it.
Mm, I mean, I think there's a lot more. I think there's a lot more publicity about men's mental health.
Do you think there's more
Uh,
publicity, but still not a lot of action?
no, I wouldn't say so. I think that I know a great deal of people that have actually started going to therapy
Hmm.
and stuff. I just think that also it's a patriotic society, so it's always about men's mental health, but it's kind of like we put ourselves in that situation as well. So I don't think I think you can always do more,
Yeah.
but then where do you draw the line? Because I think you could do more for everything, right?
I guess that's correct. I think that the reason like that made me really think about because I've been talking about doing the men's mental health event for so long, but people don't maybe they do realize, but for those that don't put on events, I don't think that you can comprehend how much energy it takes to kind of put on an event. Um, But the only thing I would say, and maybe it is a personal issue for men, because men's mental health is still fairly in its infancy of being such a social issue. But every time I do, let's talk about it. The amount of men that I see that are struggling with their mental health and kind of being vocal about it and kind of getting treatment and being treated for it is quite it's shockingly bad. Um, and like you said, because it's a patriarchal society, and you know we are we are animals at the end of the day, so men are still seen as like the figurehead in most spaces and most communities.
Mm.
Um, it's it's really tough to speak out, and I think when I started streaming and started the whole TMGC thing, one of the big things that I kind of wanted to do was kind of be a voice for men and kind of mental health is something that I'm so passionate about. So um and what I'm seeing is that the issues in our community surrounding mental health in general are fucked. Like there are so many people in pain. Um and it's quite scary to see. But as a man, obviously, I'm going to relate more and empathize more, I guess, with men. Um, and maybe empathize is the wrong term to use. But relate heavily to men in the community.
Mm,
Um, because it is very hard as a man to be able to speak out and have a and be vulnerable. I think for most men anyway, showing
yeah.
vulnerability is we are taught, I think, from a very young age. Because our fathers at least come from a generation where having that kind of, you know, slap a smile on, just get on with it. I think we're the generation that has to break that cycle and break that stereotype, which is very tough. I'm someone, as you know, I'm someone that finds it very hard to say I need help.
Mm, yeah. Uh, I honestly don't think it breaks with our generation. I think we're too old. I think it's the current generation that's probably gonna have a better chance of that.
I think we have a responsibility though to start it
Yeah, I mean that's what the
because
current
we're
generation
fathers.
will be though,
Yeah,
because yeah, we're the generation that will be teaching them that. So we might not be able to necessarily break the generational trauma on our stage, but we can definitely get closer to breaking it for the current generation.
yeah. It's scary. It's scary. I know for me having a son is bro, it's so scary, and I don't know how you feel about being a father and stuff like that, but the responsibility scares me because I don't know your whole childhood. I know mine, but and I know what it's done to me.
Mm,
Um, and the the constant thought of like not wanting to embed trauma, or I don't know what the term is, but making the right decisions essentially, and not letting my trauma and the things that I dealt with affect them.
mm,
Because trauma is inherently passed down through generations. If you were an alcoholic, your child is more susceptible to being alcoholic. If you suffer from a certain mental illnesses, your child is more likely. And so it's trauma's typically passed down. So you constantly question yourself as a parent, I think. I don't know if you're the same. Obviously, I know your child's not even one yet, but yeah, those thoughts are constantly traveling through.
yeah, I think he's still a bit too young for me, but I'm very headstrong in what I want to pass down to him already, and what things that I will try or definitely try my hardest to avoid. Um, so we just go see how it goes, man. I'm not worried. I'm not scared. I'm just more excited to see what he'll grow up to be like, and I'm very excited to see him be a better person than I am.
Yeah, yeah. That's as I think having a boy, being a dad and having a boy is a complete is probably the wildest experience I've ever had in my life.
I'm sure that being a dad and having a girl is even more
No, no,
so.
that's just scary. That's just that's just
I
like
I don't
I've
think it
got
is though. Like
I've got
I used to think it was, but now that I've had a kid, I think it's just about showing them like doing very, very basic things, but showing them how a person should be treated or a woman should be treated. Doing stuff like, if you're gonna buy your wife flowers or your partner flowers, then get her flowers as well. Showing how you should treat a partner in your relationship. I think it all stems from what she visualizes as a healthy relationship and how to be treated. Of course, there's loads of different external factors um, that come into play as well. But I think, look, listen, you just, as a parent, I haven't been a parent for that long, but quickly realizing that you just do the best you can. There's things that you're not going to be able to change or do about it, and you just have to try and make sure that you're raising the best person that you can, and they got to make their own mistakes and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, no. When I say fear, I'm like I mean more from like a male perspective, like in
Yeah, yeah,
terms of
absolutely.
I mean I completely agree. That's something that I really try and do. Like on Valentine's Day, I remember because me and my son's mom aren't together, but we co-parent, we live together, and all those sorts of things. I bought her flowers for my son to give to her because yeah, like re maybe it's a personal thing, but that for me has kind of been the biggest thing is kind of trying to create a better person than I am. And I think that is as a parent, I think that's something to really learn and something that I've really enjoyed is kind of learning to be a better person for my child and to teach him and them because I've got three kids and teach them to be better. Um, and I love being a dad. That's been the big experience in my life. It's kind of seeing. I've got a 10-year-old like that. She's 11 this year. That blows my fucking mind. But yeah, I think we could do a whole fucking pod on parenting. Um, and that's before we end because I know we've been waffling on for a while now. That has been something that I've really enjoyed, and I don't think I've really talked to you about, but seeing you go through that process
Mm,
has been something that I have loved so much. Like hearing you interact, and kind of the journey that you've gone on it's so it's so good seeing your friends kind of develop and the streaming in general has done that for us, I think.
yeah,
It's kind of seeing each other grow and build those connections. So
absolutely.
it's been a fucking beautiful experience, and
Thank you, bro.
the fact we'll get to watch that as well. Like as obviously we continue down our journeys, um, seeing each other's kids grow up, and
Hmm.
hopefully one day, and we will, I'm sure, but one day when we kind of grow bigger and we see each other in real
In real
life and kind of,
life and
bro,
hang.
like yeah, that would be crazy. Kind of seeing each other's kids meet and kind of you never know. I might settle down one day and have a wife, and then you'd have to come to a wedding.
I'll probably be dead by then, but we can all.
We
I
can
said
dream.
I said earlier in the episodes, nothing's impossible. Scratch that. Take that back. I just realized. My bad, guys.
We can dream. We can dream. Maybe it's Zap's wedding we'll go to when he finds his husband.
Remember when I said nothing's impossible? Let's scratch that again.
Oh well, no, you're not married,
No, but I'm the closest one.
so it could be your. No, there's no way I'm getting invited to your wedding because
I,
because I don't know if your wife's got sisters or whatever, but yeah, I don't think you'd want me at your wedding.
thank you very much, everybody, for
I do think that's a beautiful way to end though, because this has been one of the episodes where it's actually been quite we've not kind of said anything wild or spoken about anything crazy. We've kind of spoke very positively about everything. So
Mm,
I
there's a
don't think,
reflection episode.
yeah, it was a catch up because we should be back. We should be back next week. There's no reason now. I've not got any plans, and hopefully, not life doesn't throw any more shit at either of us. Um,
I'm
but
not
yeah,
there yet, hopefully.
let's do it, bro. Let them all know.
It's been your boy Ash, otherwise known as ENRAGEDNANASHI. You can find me on Twitch. I did just create a YouTube channel as well. So at Enraged Nanashi on YouTube, it will come up. It's me wearing grills and a colorful hat. And yeah, man, I hope everybody has a great rest of their week. And we'll see you again soon.
Yeah. DailyMate18 on Instagram. The Meat Gaming on all other social platforms. I'm back on Monday with another stream. Ash is live Tuesday and Fridays. I'm live Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But for now, that has been Real Talk episode. Who knows? Because we've been doing this a while now.
19,
But
I think.
19.
I
Check out
think.
Stave North Hope Saviors. Jesus, couldn't even fucking check that out. Check us all out. Team TMGC. Real talk. Oh!